Welcome to Interval Drinks
with your tipsy thespian pals, Chris
and SLP.
Oh, wowza! Hello!
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 How are we going?
Welcome again to Interval Drinks.
We're
Today
back.
we're going to be talking about...
The Lion King!
You're gonna hear me roar. Oh, the Lion King. I adore the Lion King, don't you?
I absolutely do.
I'm going to put it out there and say it's my favourite original Disney movie.
Really? Oh, it's such a good choice.
It's great.
Such a good choice.
1994.
Which was the year I was born.
Ah!
It feels it's very close to my heart. In fact, it was my first West End show that I went to see, yeah.
Oh gosh.
Oh God.
What a show to kick off with.
Absolutely magical.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It is. It's so amazing.
So back to the film then, starring Jeremy Irons, of course, and James Earl Jones, who also makes a little revisit to the role in the new movie.
Yes, it does, doesn't he?
I didn't know. Oh, Rowan Atkinson, of course, obviously.
Yeah.
I didn't know until I did a little bit of research that it was Matthew Broderick that voices Simba.
Really?
Matthew Broderick.
I didn't know that.
I did not know that either.
Oh,
and of course, that lovely Whoopi Goldberg moment when she comes out as the one of Scar's trusty hyenas.
Oh God, yeah.
Absolutely sensational.
Oh, they're so funny.
Can we revisit that thing about Scar being the biggest or most evil Disney baddie?
I think we can, but I think first we need a little bit of lubrication, don't we?
do.
Yeah?
We have an appropriate themed cocktail, of course.
What have we got?
We've got a Kahlúa Matata.
Kahlúa Matata, thank
This
you,
is
Barb.
brilliant. We've even got little chocolate bits on the top there. A little bit of cream.
Oh my
got a
God.
little bit of cream, haven't you?
Just like in the savannah.
Oh, absolutely. There.
Cheers,
This is our oasis.
Cheers, chaps.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's naughty.
Gosh. That's like a alcohol milkshake. It's absolutely divine.
That's really, really freaking nice.
Scar?
He's very, very naughty, isn't he?
He is so evil.
He's very naughty, he's very evil, he's very dark.
He's a very dark character.
I like it when Disney goes dark a little bit.
Yes,
I quite
me
like
too.
it. It's really gritty and stuff like that. Yeah, you said before that he's the most
Because
evil, isn't he?
he's the only Disney baddie, essentially, that kills someone.
I found that so hard to believe when you told me, but I was thinking about it afterwards, and you're right, obviously, yeah.
So, and you likened it as well to, yes, that
the
iconic moment.
It
You
is
likened
really
it a bit to Hamlet.
Yes.
And said that it was kind of loosely based. So I asked my mate Gary Google about this,
Right.
you see.
Oh, you do love Gary.
Yes, I do love Gary. And this is what I found out. So it says, based on, definitely not, but there are thematic similarities that are undeniable.
So why does, I was about to say, why does everyone, probably not everyone, why do so many people say that is then? Because there are a couple of like musical theatre, Shakespeare joined together, as we've already discussed, with like West Side Story and like Forbidden Planet and things like that. But I've heard that so often, that The Lion King is Hamlet.
Now my view on it, these like songs and fairy tales and stories and things like that, that people say are loosely based on things. I go back to that song I sang in primary school. Puff the Magic Dragon, you know, Puff the Magic Dragon,
I know
live
of it.
by the sea and frolicked in. So I revisited that with some of my kids in my school choir where I work.
Oh.
And one of the teachers pulled me aside and said, you do know that song has drug connotations, or it's about heroin and chasing the dragon. And I was like, no, you've got this, you've invented this from somewhere, or you've heard that from something.
Yeah.
And there was also, now this is, I'm sorry about what I'm about to say.
What?
But there is a moment where, in Mary Poppins, where she comes out covered in soot.
Yeah.
And she, people akin that to sort of blackface and saying that Mary Poppins is, or that scene, that sequence is prominently racist.
No.
Yeah, it's true.
What?
People are saying all kinds of things about this, but when you come back to The Lion King...
It's not true.
It's not true, but when you come back to The Lion King, I can see the similarities with Hamlet based on... I agree with my mate Gary Google. I don't think so.
Well, we better trust Gary.
God.
Go on. Yeah, go on.
Can we talk about the stage?
Yes, please.
I just adore
It's
it.
so good. So the first thing you obviously see when you're in the audience is the start of the puppetry, isn't it?
In the Circle of Life sequence. It's absolutely amazing.
It's magical.
Sublimely directed and reimagined by Julie Taymor, of course. And do you know what I like about that musical
What?
so much is the fact that Rafiki is played by a woman.
Yes!
The savannah.
Oh, the most
as I call it.
the most iconic opening to any show ever.
It's
Gonna put it out there.
undeniable.
Absolutely,
undeniable.
Absolutely,
and that was Julie's decision. You see, I'm talking like I know her personally. I don't. But
oh yes,
Julie Taymor had decided that when she revisited Lion King to stage as a West End, Broadway West End musical, that she didn't feel there were enough strong female characters in the story. So she said, why not make Rafiki a woman?
Why not? It's like, it's not like a plot point, is it? It's, they sort of have to be a guiding character. It doesn't necessarily have to be a paternal one, does it?
No, absolutely
kind of thing. Yeah. Oh, Rafiki would just be such an iconic, like, dream role if I possibly could.
Could possibly play.
I just want to do the opening, if I'm honest.
He lives in you.
Oh, God!
That just gets
All
me
the
every
music
time.
is so good. I just honestly, when I heard that we were doing this one, I'm so excited. And when I went to see it, it's you know what, with the puppetry as well, because of course you've got it in the opening in Circle of Life, but they have a big one in the Act 2 opener, don't they? Is it one by one?
Oh,
and
right,
they
yes,
have
of
all the
course.
birds like sweeping through
and they
the
come
audience.
with the grass things on their heads,
Yeah.
and they're giving it all.
And you've got the gazelle wheel.
Yeah,
and everything
yeah.
like that. And
It's sensational.
It's sensational.
I took my two nephews to see it, and all the way through it, they were really tiny at the time.
Yeah.
My nephew, all the way through it, was so poorly. He had the worst tonsillitis,
No.
and I'd seen it previous, and I really wanted to take the boys because I knew how much they'd love it.
They'd love it.
And then in the interval, I said, "Do you need to go home?" And he was like, really enjoying it and I want to stay, but all the way through he was just in so much pain.
That's really sad.
God bless him.
But I'm glad that he was there. Very glad he was there.
Yeah, he experienced it. And
gosh.
he loved it.
I found out that for each performance of The Lion King, there are at least 150 people like there on the night creating the show. That's and it's all the people you might expect, and then more. So you've got cast members, you've got your pit musicians, stage managers, wardrobe staff, makeup artists, hair artists, carpenters, electricians, props, puppets. So many people have to be there.
Sometimes they're doing 2 shows a day.
Oh, bloody hell.
That's probably why your ticket prices are so expensive.
Yeah, probably. I think we can grant them that, can't we?
Yeah,
we can let them have that one off.
But yeah, imagine being sat in the stalls at the end of a row. You know, it's that moment like in Cats or where things come out of you at the audience.
Yeah.
That opening sequence, your eyes are everywhere.
You don't know where to look.
Yeah. Similarly, when I went to see Starlight Express, because they're just whizzing around the whole auditorium. It's crazy.
I love it when theatre can literally feel immersive.
Yeah, immersive.
Yes,
that's the word.
It is the word. And just, in fact, I was just doing a week away where I was working with a group who were working with a puppeteer, and it was astonishing how, giving them all these tips and tricks, and they only had like a couple of days to sort of learn how to do it. And one of the things he was saying when you're puppeteering is that your eyes have to be, you have to fully believe that you are the animal, kind of thing, and you watch it, and you watch the head rather than sort of, like if I was going to go to you with a teddy bear and so I go, "Oh, hello, Chris," you won't believe it. But if I'm looking at the bear as well, it's like da, 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 and you sort of breathe with it, and you just have to believe that it's got that life.
That's difficult, isn't it?
It's
really difficult. It's intense.
It's so intense, but it freaking works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You never see, and I suppose the costumes when, like that wonderful, is it a leopard puppet that they've got where it's sort of, and the elbows are sort of attached out, it's amazing. And then they've obviously got the costume to kind of blend in rather than just being in black. But you lose where the person ends and where the puppet begins, and it's
just magical. Isn't it
is magical.
That's one of the ones that Disney have got so right.
So right.
So right. I mean, in fact, every sort of live sort of show that Disney have recreated have been brilliant. The Frozen thing in London right now is just incredible. Mary Poppins is great, where she just flies through the audience, and it's how do you do that? It's incredible. It's incredible. What do you think about these? New Disney live action remakes.
I was just thinking about that. Well, so some of them I have enjoyed, some of them I haven't enjoyed. Most of all, I can say the ones that I have enjoyed, I enjoyed them as like the films themselves. So like I thought the Lion King one was good. Of course, it's it's CGI like all the way through. But I liked the Aladdin and a couple of different ones they do as films in their own right. They don't replace the originals in my heart.
No,
and I don't think they could. It does feel as if a little bit as if they're trying to replace them, but it just don't try.
Not where your heart is.
Yeah.
I've got a little note here saying they're a little bit hit and miss.
Yeah.
Lion King's good. My favourite was Aladdin. And the reason I liked
really
Aladdin was because of Will Smith and the genie.
Yes,
because Robin Williams
very
have
good.
big shoes to fill.
God.
Aren't they?
Yeah.
And he's not trying to be like him.
No,
he's
he makes it his own.
completely different. He makes it his own. He's a
his own.
completely different genie. And
there
I
are
thought he
some-
was wonderful, but for very different reasons.
Yeah, and a lot of them they've added in a couple of extra songs, haven't they? So in Aladdin there was Speechless, which obviously became a big anthem of it. I can't remember the name of the one in Lion King that they added, but it was Beyonce.
Right,
got
yes,
her
of
own
course.
song, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Forgettable,
And stuff
but
like
yes.
that. Yeah. Ooh, but
Don't tell my husband he's a Beyonce super fan.
Oops. But yeah, and there were. I mean, I think we're going to be talking about this in our next podcast, so I might leave it for now, but I'll just say the word stunt casting,
Right.
and then we'll leave it there,
Right.
and we'll talk about it in our next episode.
But back to these adding songs to make, that's for the Oscar win, isn't it, for Best Original Song?
Is.
And that's why I'm so glad that in West Side Story,
Yeah.
I reckon somebody was at Steven Spielberg saying,
Yeah.
we need another Oscar for this. Why don't we get a writing team together and pen another song?
Yeah.
And because it was so precious to him, he must have stood back and gone, no, we're not going to include an original song
No,
here. It
I
doesn't need
respect
it, it
that.
doesn't fit. And I respect that decision too.
Yeah. In fact, what was it that I was watching the other day? It was one where there was a brand new song written in. I can't remember, but it doesn't matter. It's a brand new song written in, and it does just feel clunky.
Yeah.
It can feel clunky because it will suddenly feel shoehorned in a little bit, and it might not fit, and it might feel very modern compared to everything else.
Yeah.
And it just, I respect his decision there
to do
to choose. It's a work in its own right.
And then similarly, I don't know
it.
what's going to happen with the Wicked movie, even though I've spoken before, oh bless you, I've spoken before about John M. Chu, who's going to be directing it, who directed In the Heights. Are they going to include a new song in that for an Oscar win, for a Best Original Song? I don't know, but I hope not, because Wicked as it is it shouldn't be.
Do you want to put a bet on? I think they will. I don't really want them to, but I think they will.
I think I'm not a betting man.
No.
I think they will too. So all bets are off.
Well, I'll get you a drink, courtesy of our lovely bar.
Oh, bless you. And a lovely drink this is. Isn't this adorable?
It's gorgeous.
I was saying just before we started recording, we are actually spoilt rotten here at the Vox Box.
We actually are.
It's an incredible venue. We're just so lucky to
it.
have friends that are helping us out with this.
It's so amazing.
As we take our podcast to the next level.
Level up. I didn't realise. Obviously, I'm very aware of how successful the show is. I didn't realise just how many in the '98 Tony Awards. So they had 11 nominations, and they won. I think it was 6 or 7.
Wow.
They won.
They cleared it.
Yeah, so at least 6 in their first thing, including. In fact, I've got them in here. So they had Best Lighting, Best Costume Design, Best Scenic Design, Best Choreography, Best Direction, and Best Musical.
Wow.
Let's be honest, they're the ones you're
you want.
after.
Yeah. I love how Tamar won Best Direction because what a vision.
What a vision.
To bring that to life. And there's a lot of kind of puppet theatre around at the moment.
Yeah.
And some are really successful. Life of Pi, for instance,
Yes,
which has done massive. It's now got a Broadway transfer.
It had,
and
you
that's from
saw
its
that.
humble beginnings in Sheffield. That's where that little beauty was created. Sometimes it doesn't work.
No.
But
that's,
good on her.
Yeah.
But back to Julie Taymor, she didn't have as much success with trying to recreate Spider-Man, the musical. I don't know if you know about that on Broadway.
I didn't.
So that was a bit of a flop for her.
Right.
And I think she came on it too big.
Right.
With flying and all this kind of extra things
Well,
going on.
you kind of have to with something like that, surely.
Yes, and I think
the acrobatics of it
I
all.
don't think they quite got the technical elements of that right.
Yeah.
And no matter, even after previews, it was going ahead and things were still going a little bit awry. So I think they put the brakes on that. But I definitely think it's worth revisiting.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of a brilliant director there.
Well, that sounds a bit like at uni. I discovered the Tarzan musical.
Right,
of course, it's pretty much the same score as the film.
Phil Collins. Version,
Phil Collins with sort of some extra padding and things like that. But I really went down a rabbit hole and I found all these little quite grainy YouTube clips and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, but I want something modern. It got it was so incredibly expensive for all, like literally every person to have to be on wires and flying around and these monkeys like jumping from place to place, that it just wasn't viable.
You're going to lose money.
Yeah, exactly. But that would have been just like a spectacle to watch as well. Just like, I love it. It's immersive. When you see them crawling all around the auditorium.
And that's what you
like
want.
That's
when
what
you're
you
paying
want.
ticket money, you know. Who's your favourite character from Lion King?
Oh God. I do have a bit of a soft spot for Zazu, even though he really pisses me off at the same time.
Yeah.
He reminds me of a couple of friends of mine.
I get it.
He does.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, and Rafiki as well. I think Rafiki comes out with a lot of like iconic. Doesn't he hit him on the head later on? And it's just like, it doesn't matter. It's in the past and stuff like that. And it's good life lessons and stuff like that.
For me, it's Pumbaa.
Pumbaa. Why? What's Pumbaa?
What's Pumbaa? What's Pumbaa? It's again going back to that thing. If you could play any role in the particular musical we're talking about, that's my go-to. Is the character part, isn't he?
So you'd feel
I'm not slight enough for Timon, but I feel I've got the grandeur of
Pumbaa. You'd have to have like such a good person to work off, though. Timon and Pumbaa are just that iconic.
They are the character parts, but they're also polar opposite, aren't they?
They are
in the way they approach.
Yes,
the story.
But they have to just be able to bounce off each other so well, don't they? I've got a question for you. Shag, marry, avoid. Let's have
characters in Lion King.
Yeah.
Shag, marry, avoid. Okay, let's do it.
Legality, like off the table. Let's have what should we have? Timon, Pumbaa, Simba. Let's go for those three.
Timon, Pumbaa, Simba.
And I've got your next three lined up.
Oh gosh, I would marry.
Yeah.
Pumbaa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shag, Timon, avoid Simba.
Yeah, that's. It feels really weird to say, doesn't it? A little bit weird.
This is the weirdest conversation I've ever had, and we have had some weird conversations.
We have had quite a few. All right, last one. Let's do Mufasa.
Ooh.
Scar.
I know. Say it again.
Mufasa. Let's have Scar, and let's have Rafiki.
Well, I would marry Mufasa.
Yeah.
Just because when he eventually pops it.
Yeah.
Well, not eventually, partway through the story, he pops it, and then the kingdom would be mine.
Yeah, of course.
Who were the others?
Scar and Rafiki.
Oh, I would.
See, I think Rafiki will be freaky in the sheets. This is going to go on YouTube. Oh, no. He's gone.
No,
He's gone.
I think that's you've just done that for me. So yes, Rafiki is freaky in the sheets, and I would avoid Scar, obviously, as any sane person would.
Yeah, although
sane.
I mean, he's a lion with a big massive scar on his face. Oh God! Have you ever seen the other Lion King films? So like Lion King 2, Simba's Pride.
No.
That's got some really good tunes in as well. Yeah, I'm always a bit wary when a sequel comes out.
I've avoided all of these kind of sequels.
They actually have quite a few. I think there's Lion King 2, Simba's Pride, which is really, I would recommend.
Right.
And then they kind of do a 3 and then a 1.5 and then a prequel and stuff like that. I haven't watched those.
Right, okay.
But the second one is
worth a watch.
Very worth a watch.
Oh, wow.
It's got some really nice tunes in it. And it kind of does a sort of Romeo and Juliet kind of vibe where it's a descendant of Scar and then a descendant of Simba, and so it's like the good and bad and stuff like that.
In the re-release of the original movie, they brought that song back that they cut from the original, The Morning Report. Morning Report. I think that's quite a cheeky little number.
It's such, and I quite like those numbers in a show where you've got them quite early on, and it's like, you're the energy bringer, aren't you? And it's just like popping up. And then it's I Just Can't Wait to Be King. Iconic song. Iconic. Oh, in fact, let's make this an official thing. We're downstairs at Vox Karaoke Bar, and I say Lion King is your option. What song do you pick?
People that know me will know my go-to song on karaoke. It's a song that I actually sing all the time. It's Can You Feel the Love Tonight?
Oh, yeah. As a solo or as a duet?
No, as a solo. It's the closing credit version. There's a kind surrender.
Oh, yeah. So the proper Elton John version.
The Elton John version.
Yeah, nice.
And take it down half a tone, and I'll give you my Circle of Life.
Oh! Well, I mean, that's an offer I simply couldn't refuse. Couldn't refuse. Mine would just be, yeah, I would want to do that opening and just grab the mic. Yeah, exactly.
I would say Arsene Wenger.
Arsene Wenger?
Arsene Wenger.
Oh, God, my dad later on, in fact, and of course, seeing this so young, I think, in fact, how old was I when I went? Maybe about 6 or 7.
Oh, wow.
All the way home in the car, he was just singing, "My pajamas, where's me pink pajamas? Me pajamas, where's me pink pajamas?"
It's like
And
all
now
those
there's always
misheard
in my
lyrics
head,
things,
exactly,
isn't it? Yeah.
rather than, the actual thing. In fact, I also found out that there are several different African languages used. We've got multiple, so we've obviously got English, but there are bits of Swahili, Zulu, Soto, Tswana, and Xhosa, which is the click language.
What's that again?
Xhosa.
Do that again.
I'm really pleased that I'm able to do it. Xhosa. Oh no, that wasn't very good. But that's then when you hear all the and clicks like that. I can't properly do it.
Wow.
But it's
so it's like a fusion of all these Afrikaner languages together. Yeah. That's amazing.
Isn't that so beautiful? I think it's just really nice, and because of course, well, in fact, who was it? It was telling me the other day, I can't remember, that one of the big messages of the show is inherently wrong, that there aren't any lions in the jungle. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lions nowhere to be found. Oh, dang. I love that.
But I love those little bits with Small World After All, where they're just little nods at songs that we know already, you know? Amazing.
Oh, man. What have I got for you as well? What have I got? Oh, yeah, Jesus. I'll tell you this, because this is genuinely interesting. So we've mentioned, obviously, the puppets.
Yes.
How many do you think there are in the show?
How many puppets altogether?
Yeah.
Do you want me to guess? Ballpark? 204.
200 is pretty on the money. That's pretty on the money. Well done. Very, very nice. And that's so that you've got, that's kind of including all the swooping birds and like the leopards and the like massive 18-foot giraffe and the elephant.
What's the animal they come on and Just Can't Wait to Be King, where they're kind of bouncing on that huge...
What is it?
I want to say like it's an emu or
maybe,
or an ostrich.
Is it
I
an
think
ostrich?
They're probably going to be ostriches.
Oh, and it's got like the neck going like that. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
The puppets and the masks now, I didn't believe this, and I'm still finding it quite hard to believe, took over 17,000 hours to make.
That's crazy.
That's incomprehensible to me, if I'm honest.
Just go on Amazon and just say, I want to...
Yeah, just get some, paper mache. Yeah, it's fine. But, so all the people, including Julie Taymor, obviously our director, she was involved in the hand sculpting and design. She clearly had such a vision for it that she went in and she was involved in every stage of that, which I really appreciate that
it's
in
a theatrical
director.
Experience. It's a theatrical phenomenon.
Yeah.
And, we talk about ticket prices being ridiculous. I mean, if you look in London at the moment, there's a play, Streetcar Named Desire, which isn't going to cost a massive amount of money to put on. No. But you're talking 250 quid for a ticket. Something like Lion King, you don't mind paying £90, £100 a ticket for because it is a theatrical experience. But I understand something like that when you've got children. Yeah. I took my mum to see Frozen and she absolutely adored it. But I saw families there thinking, how can you afford this? This is so it is a once in a lifetime treat. If you have not seen the stage show, I urge anybody to go and see it.
We absolutely
because it's phenomenal.
So good. Yes.
It's just groundbreaking.
It is, and it's magical and just. It's such a good starter offer, is that a word, for newcomers to the theatre as well. It really opens your eyes to just how beautiful it all can be.
And opens your eyes to the fact that literally anything is possible in the theatre.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Let's cheers.
Let's cheers. What are we cheersing? We're going to have I don't tell you what time it is.
We're not going to
Mum, if you're watching this, it's 10 o'clock at night.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
10 o'clock in the morning. Cheers.
Cheers.